Hey folks, Mav's Dad here back with another watch review. Got something really interesting for you today. This is the Seiko Prospex 200 meter solar quartz diver, model number SSC017. And as usual, we'll open it up, look at the fit and finish, the features and the functions, the build quality, and I'm going to give you my overall impressions of this really nice Seiko Prospex diver. Now basically what this is this is a reissue of an already existing model. The SSC017 has been out for quite some time now, but now that Seiko is selling the Prospex line in the United States, they've rebranded this watch with the Prospex logo. Other than that, and a couple other very minor changes, the actual specs on this watch haven't changed a bit. Now I reviewed the SSC015, which is the all black bezel version, I guess about 3 years ago. It was one of the very first reviews I ever did on my channel, so I'm very familiar with this watch, and really the specs on this thing haven't changed at all. It's just a little bit different look, that's it. So let's go ahead and open this thing up. Your typical Seiko white watch box. Sometimes you get white, sometimes you get blue. On most of the Prospex, you get a white box, or a black box actually. So let's open this thing up. And of course you're looking at your instruction manual, which is written in multiple different languages. There you go. And you have your blue Seiko warranty card with your actual card in the back there. So you all seen that a million times. Let's go ahead and get to actually reviewing this thing. Now, as usual, what I'll do on the left-hand side of the screen is we'll go ahead and put all the basic specs of the watch, and then I'll go a little more into detail later in the review. So you're looking at a 44 millimeter case. It's 14 millimeters thick. It's on a 20 millimeter bracelet. It's 200 meters water resistant, which is 660 feet. You have a hard Lex crystal. You're not going to get a sapphire at this price point. It has Lumibrite paint on all the indexes and hands. It has the V175 movement, which offers a 6-month power reserve. You have your date function over at 4:30, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. You have a screw down crown, obviously at 3. You have screw down pushers at 2 and 4, and we'll talk a little bit more about those later. You have a unidirectional bezel, and you have a dive extension on the bracelet. Now basically what I'll do, before I actually really get into it, let's talk about the only real changes in this watch. And on the left-hand side, I'll go ahead and put up the SSC017, the non-Prospex branded model. And as you can see, the only changes that I can see are the blue bezel color has changed a little bit. The older version was a little bit lighter. They removed the word chronograph completely from the face of the watch, and they moved the word solar down to the 6 o'clock subdial. So now basically it says Seiko and then the Prospex wording, and then of course you have divers 200 meter. And on the old version, again, they totally removed the word chronograph and they moved the word solar down to the 6 o'clock subdial. So those are really the only changes that I can see in the watch. Everything else, all the other major specs are exactly the same. Again, you do have screw down pushers, which I really like. You'll see a lot of dive watches that claim to be dive watches that don't have actual screw down pushers, and that drives me a little bit crazy. The unidirectional bezel, and I don't remember if the other one was quite this easy to turn, but it's a little bit easy to turn. I've actually worn it a little bit, and you can actually bump this bezel and move it if you kind of bump it, even with some moderate force. So I wish the bezel was a little bit tighter. Not a big deal, but I do wish it was tighter. I mean, I love the face of this watch. All those indexes are raised and applied. You can see it's on like a second level, which really gives a depth to the watch face. And of course, I'll demonstrate the Lumibrite paint here in just a second. It's extremely bright. But I like the real clean look of the dial. Really nice. Now, if you notice that your seconds actually at your 9 o'clock subdial. And it's not this big blue hand. That's your sweeping seconds for your chronograph function. If you notice, your actual subdial, your 9 o'clock subdial, is your ticking second hands, which is kind of cool. Let's take a look at the dive extension. Any decent dive watch is going to have a dive extension. So basically, just open it up. Your dive extension is right there, and it just pops open like that. And there you go. There's your dive extension. It gives you about another inch to put over a wetsuit. So that's pretty cool. Now, let's test the loom on this thing. Let's go ahead and cut out the studio light. And let's get out my trusty mag light here. And let's give this loom a quick little shot of light here. And I mean, it's got Lumibright, so it's going to be extremely bright. All Seiko dive watches are this way. There you go. And it will shine at probably half that brightness for hours and hours and hours. That's just how Seikos are. I mean, their Loom is just really, really good. Always has been. You cannot beat Lumibright for these things. It's crazy. So there you go. Let's go ahead and turn the light back on. Let me go and try this thing on. I'm actually going to pause the video real quick for me to try this on. I'll be back in just a second. And there you go. Really good wrist presence on this thing. It doesn't sit too high off the wrist. If you're a desk jockey and you're going to wear a long sleeve dress shirt. I mean, it's a real masculine looking watch. I don't think anybody ever really uses the chronograph function on a watch, but it just looks cool. Having all those subdials just really does add a kind of a coolness to the watch. So fits nice, your typical Seiko bracelet. There you go. So let me go ahead and take this thing off and I'll be back in a second. All right, folks, I'm back. And again, other than those, those couple changes where you have the Prospex logo now on this watch, and the word chronograph being removed and the word solar being pushed down to the 6 o'clock subdial, that's it. I mean, that's really the only change on this watch. I think I griped about it a couple years ago when I did the original review of the SSC017, that date window is really, it's so recessed, and the actual sliding date wheel is so low down. I mean, the date window is kind of useless, really. You really have to stare at it for a couple seconds to get any good indication of what the date is. That's my really only gripe, other than that, and the bezel being pretty easy to turn and pretty easy to be bumped. I mean, I could just barely do it. I could just do it with my thumb like that and just barely move it. And you shouldn't be able to move a bezel that easily. So those are really my only two gripes with the watch. You can get this on Amazon. I think it's for $189. There are multiple different dial and bezel combinations with this watch. So I'll go ahead and include all of those links for you so you can take a look at the other ones. Or you can just get an old one. I mean, if you like the old version better with the old writing on it and not the Prospex branding, go out and get yourself one. They're all between about $180 and $200. You have the Pepsi version, which is the red and blue bezel. You've got this version. You've got the yellow. I think you've got obviously the all black. And I think there might even be a green version out there. I'm not quite sure. But a really good looking watch, really good price for the money. Obviously, it's solar powered. You don't have to worry about charging a battery, anything like that, or changing a battery. Just a great looking watch for the money, very durable, and I really like it. I mean, I've always liked this watch. I'm kind of indifferent on the new branding, to tell you the truth. It doesn't really do anything for me. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's just a little bit different look. Do I need the word chronograph on there? Obviously, it's a chronograph with all the different subdials. So I really don't know. It's just one of those things. It just really doesn't, again, I really have no opinion on it, to tell you the truth, other than I like the actual watch itself. So anyway, if you like this video, please click on like. If you want to subscribe to my channel, please do so. I really appreciate all those new subscribers. And I'll put a little reminder of that in the lower right-hand corner. And again, you can go out to Amazon and get one of these between $180 and $200 if you want to get one. I'm trying to think of anything I missed. That's really about it, folks. I mean, the same Seiko Tsunami logo on the case back. There's really nothing else to say about this watch. If you want to look at my original review of the SSC017, I'll put a link in the description field so you can check that one out too. And you can see how far I've come in doing my reviews. But anyway, great looking watch, good value for the money as usual from Seiko. But now it's just a Prospex branded model. That's it. All right, folks, until the next review, I will see y'all later. Take care. Bye-bye.